Peace, peace, peace. This is your girl Sunshine, and we are back with Shine Vibrations. It has been a minute. Haven't been on since the anniversary show, but those of you that know, the girl works with the government, so this government shutdown has been very, very intense for those of us that work in that field, especially when you assist people with getting fed. So it has been a lot that has been going on, and also family things have been going on. But today we are back and we are celebrating our veterans. Salute to our heroes. My grandfather, shout out to Arthur Benjamin Cromwell Jr., aka P, aka Fuzzy. He was in the Korean War, and when he was honorably discharged, he was a sergeant, and he was stationed in Camp Lejeune, where my mother was born. So that is my ties to North Carolina and Jacksonville, North Carolina, to be exact. And my father, shouts out to Tony Action Jackson. He was in the Army. My great uncle, Lawrence Edward Bellinger, he was in World War II. He was in the Navy, him and his brothers. So I come from a line of men and women. My cousin shout out to Chevelle Cromwell. She is still involved with the government, and she was also in the Army. Shout out to one of my favorite cousins. We grew up like brother and sister. Sean Young, he is an airman. He was with the Air Force. I can go on and on. Shouts out to my cousin Carla Jenkins. She was also in the Air Force. And like I said, there's a lot. I'll shout them out as they come. But this guest, those of you that tuned into the anniversary show, he was on for the erotic poetry. I first was introduced to his brother on Clubhouse, and then he just disappeared. When I tell you, like, when you watch someone on stage or in a movie or even just on the radio and they're captivating, on Clubhouse, you just see a PTR picture, and it's their voice. And I mean, every piece that I heard this brother spit, it was straight fire. And when I say fire, I mean he can go anywhere. And I love how one of his pictures, he did this with the fire attached to it. He is a father, he's a Marine, he's a poet, he's a lowrider, homeowner, and he is a legacy builder, and I love that about him. This is Fool's ink pen. We're gonna throw up some of his pictures. I know which one he is in this picture. I could tell when he sent this to me. I was like, okay, that's dope. He got some classic pics. And then, of course, we have to shout out to the Marine Corps. Happy birthday, all that good stuff. Simplified, hoorah. So, without further ado, let's jump right in and bring this brother on stage. Peace, peace, peace. How are you again?
I'm doing all right, Miss Lady. How you doing?
Good. Good.
Doing all right. Just got through celebrating the 250th Marine Corps birthday, followed by Veterans Day, or Marine Corps Hangover Day. That's what it is.
So during my intro, I saw that you was laughing. Is there some connections to Camp Lejeune?
Man, that place there is that's one of those places in the Marine Corps that's near and dear to everybody's heart, whether they've been there or not. I was at my MOS school was around the corner from there, Camp Johnson, named after a very famous Marine named Hashmark Johnson, first black drill instructor. Um, he's the first black Marine, in fact.
Mhm.
Anyway, Camp Lejeune, I went there when I was 16 to visit my brothers. Both of my brothers, shout out to my brothers, both of them. One of them is retired, the other one is still active duty. Both of them master gunnery sergeants, E9. Um, North Carolina is North Carolina is an experience to say the least. It's an experience. I like it or love it. Like love it or hate it, it's an experience. It's the ocean don't quite ocean, the beach don't quite beach.
Hold up,
The
hold up, hold up. What do you mean by the beach don't quite beach? Because you know I'm a Jersey girl, and when I tell you I fell in
so
love, because you know Emerald Isle is right there by Camp Lejeune. That is my
yeah.
favorite beach in North Carolina.
Have you been to California?
No, I haven't been to
All
California
right.
yet.
When you go to California, you said you're a Jersey girl. Okay. The beach by the boardwalk in Jersey, that's more beach than the beach in Carolina. I promise you. It's just a big
No,
ass lake.
no. Listen to why. This is my comparison. Let me explain why. Okay, so you're talking about, we got Asbury Park, we got Belmar down there, we have Long Branch, and then
I'm
there's
listening.
now Seagirt, I will tell you, is the best beach in Jersey. And
I
Seagirt is a little further south, but that's where the state troopers go train and everything. My uncle was a state trooper, and so we will always go down there. Now, Belmar, Asbury Park, Seaside, like all of that, where you see them on MTV, yeah, because of all the main attraction. But I'm talking about the water. I'm talking about the feel of the water. Now,
I'm
when you
talking about the
come,
water. I ain't talking about the
no,
attractions. The water in North Carolina is black.
it's better than Jersey.
The waves are like lake waves. I've never
Yeah,
seen a wave
I
in
didn't
Carolina.
have that experience at
Not
Emerald
one.
Isle. I got some pictures on my Facebook page. The first time I went to Emerald Isle, the first time I got connected with my cousins down there in Jacksonville, and it's some big ass waves behind me in this picture. But the best thing that I
I probably
love
went at a
about it,
bad time. I probably went at a
yeah,
bad
but
time.
the best thing about it is that I've been to Jamaica. Okay.
Ooh,
So now, if you done been to the waters on any island, you know stateside, nothing is going to compare to that.
man, Okinawa. I was in Okinawa,
And
and the waves, the ocean, it's pristine. Like
yeah, the
I, t-
islands is different, but one thing I loved about Jamaica is that no matter what time of the day I went out there, the water was the same temperature. So that's where I fell in love with Emerald Isle, because the first time down there we went during the day, you know, and then was bored one time because this is when I was living in Greensboro. Called my cousin up. She was like, "Sure, come on, cuz, come down. We ain't doing nothing." Drove down there, and we were at the beach like 1 o'clock in the morning. You know, drinks, everything. And then we actually got in the water. Like we wasn't planning on, but we did. And if they had bathing suits, they did. If they didn't, their clothes got wet. But the water felt the same. Like it felt like the sun was out. So
that's
that
wild. I like
that's
that.
the only reason why I say yes. Emerald Isle, like, you know, people got their favorites, but that was the experience for me. And I
I've
would
never
never
been.
go to another beach in Jersey after being there.
Okay.
But that's just some of the connections with Camp Lejeune and my family and stuff like that. So when you went down there to visit, like what was it like for you just to visit?
So I was young and everything. As soon as I got there, my eyes just popped open because it was so much to see in such a little time. Because I was only there for maybe 2 3 weeks, and in that time, I met a lot of Marines. I got to go out to the mall. Um, the atmosphere was very closed off. It was very closed off. Like when we went out in town off base, it was you have to stick with us or else. you know. And then when I got older and I went over there for MOS school, I finally understood what they was talking about. I got it. It was just like a bigger version of home. You know, you got to watch your back everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Them is especially when they are belligerent after
Oh,
drinking, and
yeah.
and sometimes it is our servicemen and women who get wild and crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to mingle with
Yeah.
civilians, it turns out to be worse than what it needs to be.
That ends up becoming a safety stand down, a whole meeting on Monday, everybody standing in formation. Like, why are we all being punished for this one person's actions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Good times, good times.
Yeah. When we went down, it was crazy because my cousin that I would always go down there to visit, she recently passed in
I'm sorry to hear
November.
that.
Appreciate it. And going down there, it was the day that I got the word from my aunt. We drove down there and literally getting ready to come back to Charlotte. We see two. They look like they might have been brothers. They just could have been some white boys that just looked alike because they was forced to get their military haircuts. But when I tell you, my youngest son that you met earlier before we started, he instantly, Mommy, look, there go soldiers. You said we bought a Marine Corps base, right? And I turned around and I said, yeah, you see that line of bushes and that big gate? I said, right over that, that's part of the base. We was right there on Marine Boulevard. And
Oh,
yeah, and I think that was the Circle K. So we going in the store, just get them some snacks for the ride back, and they were plastered, and they were loud in the store. They was crazy. I mean, and they were young, and my sons were standing there. They were like, from what we tell them, and then of course what they see in the movies, but then to see them in real life and be like, okay, this is not what we were told or what we've seen. And
yeah, because everything they show on TV is like an old country song. Have you forgotten? And then when they see us in real life and they like, hey, you're not as they need to look at that quote that Eleanor Roosevelt said. They are the rowdiest bunch of animals that I God bless the Marine Corps. Like
I mean, that's what you pretty much was trained to be.
yeah, and then the way you get treated at work, and then it's one thing to do a job and feel like I'm not doing enough. Then you get off work and you're minding your business. Then you get a phone call randomly. Hey, you got to go to formation because somebody fucked up, and now everybody has to pay for that one person's mistakes. Yeah, you getting plastered on the weekends.
Yeah.
Just to forget it. Just to forget it all. Love your job. We all have this statement when we get out. We miss the clowns, but I don't really miss the circus. And I mean, I do miss the Marine Corps, and as a whole, I miss the Marine Corps, but there are some aspects about it, just like working at Walmart. I don't miss certain things about Walmart. I don't miss certain things about working at all.
Any job.
Mm-hmm. But that one
So,
particular job, golly,
so
whenever.
how long did you do in the service?
So, this is gonna be you like dualities. Um, the duality of this is a shout out to my grandfather who was in the army during Korea, and he was in supply. I had no idea. I had seen one picture of him, and that was all. I didn't know he was supply till I went to the Marine Corps and was doing supply, and he asked me what my job was. I was in Afghanistan, and he asked me what my job was, and I said, "I'm doing supply, Grandpa." And he said, "Oh yeah, I did the same thing till they made me peel out the potatoes." So I done supply. I pulled some security details in places like the Philippines, Thailand, Okinawa. I pulled security and a few other places. But primarily, that's my primary MOS was 3051 warehouse supply clerk.
Okay. 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 All right. So
Shout out to the Pogues.
how now I know some stuff about you already. So leading up to your decision to even enlist, where or what did you use to give you that choice or to make that decision?
So, I'm the youngest of three, and my two older brothers are twins. And everybody loved the twins. Everybody loved them. So here I am, the little brother, trying to be noticed. So when my brothers did anything, I wanted to do it too. And when they decided to go to they were going to go to the Army at first, but it was something about that uniform in the Marine Corps, something about it. So eventually they went over to the Marine Corps, and I said, I'm going to follow that path. Now, looking back on it, it was a risk because I didn't give myself another out. I didn't give myself the option to go to college. I didn't give myself the option to do anything else. I'm either going to go to work or I'm going to the Marine Corps, but there was nothing that was going to stop me from going to the Marine Corps. Absolutely nothing. I lost, I want to say I lost like 45 pounds, 50 pounds to go. When it was time for me to leave, when I was about to enlist, the recruiter I had here flaked out on me. For whatever reason, he flaked out. He ended up getting kicked out. But my brother, I called my brother, Donnie, who he was a staff sergeant at the time, and like I was like, hey, you need a body. You should let me come out to Arizona. He was like, no, I don't, and he hung up on me. And then I called him back and I said, you're a recruiter. You need somebody. He was like, I don't need you. And he hung up on me again. So I called him like a week later and begged him. And he said, and I quote, if you fuck me over, I'll bury you in the desert. Nobody will ever find you.
I bet he meant that shit too.
and oh yeah, he meant it. So on my 23rd birthday, he said, hey, be ready in the morning. I'm gonna take you to get your birthday gift in the morning. I'm like, you never got me nothing for my birthday. Woke me up at 3 a.m. to take me to MEPS. I swore in on my 23rd birthday, and it was one of the best birthday gifts I ever got.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So now my closest experience outside of the family I'm connected to, I actually was going to go into the Marine Corps. I did JROTC at Railway High School.
Nice.
Me and my best friend, we were like, that's what we both said we was just gonna do. Like, we're gonna do this together. When we was in junior high school, we was like, okay, yeah, they offer this, we're gonna do this, blah blah blah. Even when it came to doing PT, like, we had PT, like that was our gym. And what was crazy was, because of the schedule at the school, we had to have hours just like if we was on the base. We had to have it during the lab time. And anybody that had like labs to do, you had to be at school at 6:45 in the morning. So at 6:45 in the morning, we had to be dressed in our PT gear and in formation, ready to go.
The green on green? Were y'all wearing green on green?
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Or, you know, sometimes we switched up and used the brown tee that goes under the camis, but that was it. It was no switching up outside of that. And shouts out to Sergeant Major Henry, because, and Captain Logan, Sergeant Major Henry, it was just something, even these were two white men, but it was just something about Sergeant Major Henry that he reminded me, I guess, it's that Marine Corps grit, because it was like my grandfather was at school with me sometimes. And it was just like, you know, as long as they knew you had some confidence and you had some grit with you, like, they fucked with you real heavy. And me and my best friend, we definitely had all of that. We was bona fide tomboys growing up, and Jersey girls on top of that. So, you know, we was with the shits. We was with everything. And we played basketball. So we was keeping in shape for everything anyway. So it just kind of worked out. But that was the best experience. We went to competitions down in Atlanta. We were the lead of the all-women silent drill team.
I was just about to ask you about the silent drill.
Yeah, we was on the silent drill team, you know, the tricks and teams and stuff. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I missed the breaking down and of the M14 and putting it back together, cleaning it. I'm so front. I do miss doing that. Like when I say I was gung ho ready for the military, I was. And oh, everybody knew once I moved to North Carolina that I was going to end up being a concealed to carry. Everybody knew that I could shoot, and it was learned in ROTC at the school. Sergeant Major Henry, he looked at both of us and he was like, "Mm-hmm, I got something for y'all." Mm-hmm. The prone position, couldn't nobody rock with us. Like they just couldn't. Like when I say I miss doing all that, I missed it, but you know,
Man,
life
that
happened. And when I was getting ready for everything and decided, the recruiter called me and I ended up pregnant with my daughter that I talked about that passed away. And I ended up pregnant with her. And because I was living with my great great aunt and uncle, like I didn't feel comfortable 6 months leaving her with them because they were elderly and I didn't know, her father really wasn't present. So the recruiter was on me though. He was on me. He was like, "Hey, 6 months, what you gonna do? We got on base daycare, all this stuff." I said, "But right now, to go to boot camp, I don't have nobody to keep my daughter. I did it." And he just was like, "Man, I really, really hate this for you." And I said, "I really did too, because that's all I talked to my grandfather about. Because technically, I don't know what it is with men. Y'all like the first to be male, the first son, the first grandson. I was the first grandchild, like wasn't a boy." So, I figured, probably at least that way, if I would have went to the Marine Corps, even though it was something I wanted to do, but that was also like a way to honor him too. But it didn't happen.
so we can't look at it like it
See,
couldn't
see?
happen or that it didn't happen for a reason. It happened. Everything was supposed that you were where you were supposed to be.
Yeah,
You know,
indeed.
earning that Eagle Globe and Anchor, it's a different feeling. It puts you in a different place. Um, you know, there's a statement that says people walk around all day wondering if they made a difference. The Marine don't have that problem, and that's a very broad statement and a very very great statement. But if you're a mother, you've made a difference. If you're a father, and in your kids' lives, you made a
Mhm.
difference. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I stand by that phrase because I am a Marine. However, you know, if it wasn't for certain people that was in my life would have been different. My brothers left when I was 14. The year I turned 14 in 97, they left in October. I didn't have too many positive influences around me. I had some gangbangers. I had I had a few, maybe a couple, two or three positive influences around me, but not really. Not really. So the ones that I did have, I made sure to stick. I made sure to stay close to. And then obviously I want to be just like my brothers. That there was nothing that was going to talk me out of that. And when I got to the Marine Corps, one of the things that I realized, that they teach you, once a Marine, always a Marine, and that's a very true statement. But what they don't tell you is that the whole time you're in the Marine Corps, you're competing with your fellow Marine. I thought, and all of my, I don't know, and all of my wiseness or lack thereof, that once I earned that title, that okay, cool, we just do the job, and then we go home or we go to combat or we do whatever. They didn't tell me you're competing with the Marine next to you in PFTs and CFTs and rifle scores, and
Mhm.
even in the gas chamber, you're competing to a degree. Who can stay in the gas chamber the longest? Of course,
Yep.
I didn't mind the chamber, but I'm not saying I was like gung ho about going to it, but
Yeah.
when I was in there, I was all right.
All right. So before we go to our break, you did say that you had some poetry that you already pulled that was geared for veterans, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna turn this down and you lead us into our music break, and then we're gonna get back to the poetry and more of Souls Inc. pen.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
They all called him LM Gas because he was Lightweight. No need to pretend to be heavy, especially when the mess made was the same as a 40 mic at close range. That's a grenade lob from a belt-fed weapon screaming freedom with every round ejection. I digress. I fed him magazines of dreams dripped from combs of honeys others wouldn't dare to speak. Gas, cause shit, if you seen any of them, you'd wonder how in the hell he did that. Made that mess, that is. I always keep them air cooled because bedroom saunas are a thing these days. Well, when you're me. But truthfully speaking, as it pertains to messiness, it's always especially sexy when she asks me if I like to paint. So I lean back and aim like I'm an M16A2 in the shoulder of a Marine firing well aimed rounds into a point target at distances unseen. The sheer look in her eyes and the sight of the scene is nothing short of madness turned serene. I mean, I tried to warn them about the weapon I can be, but none of them believe me yet. Here I sit, lonely, waiting for the next mission that needs to be complete. Maybe, just maybe, I'll stop just shooting and start stabbing waist deep like Chucky, but till someone cuffs me, I'll just be gear adrift, ready to inflict damage and paint the canvas of my next victim. Sincerely, L.M. Gas, a weapon of many talents. Sincerely, Soul's Ink Pen. Drip known as Article 69. Poem.
Ooh-wee. That one there. We had how jump in real quick. He's actually out here in Charlotte and didn't tell me until the last minute. And I'm like, bruh, I got souls on tonight. Like, and he's performing tonight with some people out here in Charlotte. And then you got Misfit Syndicate shouting you out.
Shout out to the Misfits. Yo, let's go.
All right, so let's go ahead with our blast artist and more of those ink pen after that. I have no idea what happened to the video. So I guess Veep will just have to go ahead and edit that later. And just break in there. But yeah, it did not play, so my bad, peoples. But what I can do is do my ads real quick. So we have Born King with Soul Society with that alkaline water.
Peace and love, family. Check it out. It's the We Are the Gold campaign. The We Are the Gold campaign is all about highlighting ourselves as the wealth, value, and solutions we've been looking for. We are the gold. Before it comes to the money, your health is the wealth. Tap into intentional lifestyle decisions, making sure you're putting living local foods, preferably, especially organic, into your well-being, your temple, you know. And you already know you gotta couple that with the live alkaline water, the best hydration in the nation. Natural alkaline spring water straight from the source, no artificial induced processing. And the other side of the We Are the Gold campaign is activating our economics, you know. So tap into the We Are the Gold campaign, get your $20 monthly subscription special at heavyenergyuniversity.com.
So yeah, these brothers, when I tell you they are dope, y'all need to follow them. Okay. You got T Walker, also known as Terrace Walker. You got Born King, also known as Brad Simmons, they are Soul Society. They are the brothers behind the live alkaline water that you're seeing. You see different people like David Banner, KRS-One, um, Red and Blue Pill, the list goes on and on. These brothers are really out here healing the nation through hydration. So run over to heavyenergyuniversity.com. You can use two promo codes. You got Shine Vibrations 888, or you have Royal Sons, that's SUNZ Enterprises 810. Go on there, do the monthly subscriptions. They got different packages for you. And also, if you are in the North Carolina area for the weekend, or you live here this Saturday, tomorrow, they have their Fire for Therapy up in Yadkinville, North Carolina. Please go to their pages on all social media platforms to find out more details. They have, what I remember off the top of my head, they have a martial arts class, gardening, and vendors from 12 to 5. And then from 6 p.m. Until is where they have the bonfire, and they will be having poets from Word Society and other talents performing. So if you want to find something different, you need some fire therapy for your soul, I advise you to run over to their pages and check them out and register. It's not too late. Um, definitely, these brothers is the truth. So folks like to partake in one way, and folks like to partake in another. So we don't want to leave anyone out, because what we talk about, duality, right? So for those who like to partake, we got Canaleaf. Cover Canaleaf, your ultimate online dispensary. Looking for premium cannabis products without leaving your home? Welcome to Canaleaf.net, your one-stop shop for all things cannabis. They have a huge selection. You can explore a diverse range of strains and edibles with just a few clicks. They got it all. There is an exclusive offer. You got to run over and subscribe to Blast Media or Blast Music 24/7, and then run over to Canaleaf.net and put in the promo code BLAST, BLAST 15. You will get a 15% discount, not on the first, but on every single purchase, as long as you continue to use that promo code. So this ain't just drawing you in and then you're stuck paying full prices. No, this is a endless promo code that you can use. So that's 15% off your total purchase. Okay. So run over, shop online. It's quick and easy and convenient. Just visit Canaleaf.net to browse their selection and place your order in minutes. Why wait? Elevate your experience with Canaleaf today. That is on Instagram and Snapchat, Canaleaf_FL. And yes, the FL stands for Florida. Yes, I know they got one in New York and I'm from up top, but the one from up top didn't holla at your girl. Okay, so we gotta rocks with the one who rocks with the, you know what I'm saying, the podcast, So, but if you all want to reach out, y'all know, put it in the chat, reach out to me if you want to get your business promoted as well. So, since we didn't have our music break, I know you got some more fire for the people. So, you was already prepared to do more than 3 anyway. I don't even know why you was trying to front backstage.
Yeah, I got a couple in the chamber. Before I do this piece, I wanna shout out my military and poetic family. So my military family, I have my niece's mother. She's actually in Jacksonville. She still lives in Jacksonville. She's retired staff sergeant. My sister and my brother-in-law, who live in Alabama now, they both were in the army, freaking hooking and jabbing. My brother-in-law was a paratrooper. Like I said earlier, both of my brothers, I have god brothers that all served. My grandfather, my papa, step pops, my uncle, cousin. I have like mostly Army and Navy family, and me and my two brothers are the only Marines.
That's what's up.
But
Well,
I'm ready to jump in this piece if you want me. If you're ready.
Yep, we ready. We always ready.
I'm ready. 3051. I have 1,183,433 reasons to cry while spitting this piece. I'll try not to. We were told that on a bleak day, 2,977 souls were lost in an attack on our soil, causing our blood to boil and young boys and girls signing up in droves. When it came out that they wore turbans, all of a sudden, anything resembling a Muslim became the enemy. Suddenly, we saw people that sold us groceries being beaten openly in the streets. I was in high school. First hour computer class when the news came in and we saw planes hit, and somehow Building 7 mysteriously collapsed. But in the UK, it was reported 3 minutes before it ever happened here. But don't believe me. I shared it on my IG, and now I'm just waiting on them to come after me. I digress. The happening, I was so angry, and I knew next class the work was short, which gave me time to jump on a computer and sign up for the selective service draft. I knew it would be my ticket to kick some ass, but my teacher, she wouldn't let me because she knew my older brothers were already in the Marines, and she was worried about them as well as some of the other crew who already never made it back. I guess this is where we should start inserting taps. 2006, I convinced my brother to enlist me because the recruiter I was dealing with a shitbag, to say the least, and you can tell by his DD-214. I swore in on 26 July, left on 3 January, was Oconus most of my time in, begged for a deployment to a combat zone, and when I got there, I was all in, but I'm supplied. So we would get the story from the front about how we're getting them all the gear they need as fast as they could ask, and they're taking the fight to the enemy as fast as they can blast. And we're sending messages like, remember your training, acronyms like brass, breathe, relax, align, sight, squeeze, not knowing that these Marines in the quiet times were guarding fields of poppies. So you mean to tell me that there's a war on drugs in America and we're guarding fields overseas that create heroin? So when my brothers were in the first push under that maniacal son of a bitch bush, in the quiet times they were guarding oil canister, what happened to the weapons of mass destruction that would upend and damage America? You know, the ones they told us about. You want to know something funny? Here's something that I learned since reverting to Islam. If someone comes into your yard trying to cause you harm, it's your job to protect your home and family. We ignorantly called it jihad. Collectively, we're told it means to go against our God, but let me lay some information on you. Isaac and Ishmael were brothers from different mothers whose father was given a promise. Both would be protected and whose people would flourish and do well. But back to the reason I'm writing this piece, the story I'm trying to nourish. I have 1,183,433 reasons to cry while spitting this piece. This is a rough estimate of the lives lost from the initial attacks from our own government to the ones we've sent young men and women to go hunting. Listen closely. You can still hear the echoes of their unfair screams in your heart. I know I can as we speak. So whether you're Democrat or Republican, we're all Americans being fucked by the same dragon with sharp teeth. No life is safe. No lie is too bold. No person is good or bad as long as their stories get told on the tube. Nation at unrest tonight on the 10 o'clock news. I swore to uphold and defend the Constitution against enemies, foreign and domestic. But 22 veterans killed themselves daily because we know even if we stood up, we'd inflict no damage because the ones who don't serve and see the bullshit for what it truly is will never understand what it's like to live the lie and smile while secretly wanting to strangle you while you say, thank you for your service. Poem.
Ooh, was this the reason why you asked me, could you say what you wanted to say?
Nah.
Because, yeah, everything you said was,
Nah, no, ma'am. That was in case I decided to go, tongue deep.
Oh, but okay, I got you. I follow. but this here, folks call you a conspiracy theorist if you want to. I don't care. It's not what you're fed. You know, if anybody paid attention to and wow, just as I'm calling it out, the name of the movie just escapes me. But the movie with was it Swordfish?
You talking about Swordfish, or you talking about the Manchurian Candidate?
No, not the Manchurian Candidate. I know that one. Oh yeah, that's classic. Yes, that's classic. But no, the one where it was John Travolta and
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry, when in that movie they tell you just because you see something, you know, your eyes can be made to see something that really didn't actually happen. You know,
Yeah,
when you incorporate
Swordfish.
when you incorporate a visual with sound, you know, you combine it together and think that what you saw and heard really happened, but it could be just a diversion. So
Yeah.
I'm 44 and I grew up in Jersey. So that was the first time that the Twin Towers was attacked.
No. Biggie said it in a song, blow up like the World Trade. Man.
That wasn't the first time. The first time when they tried was when Clinton was in office and they put the bombs down at the bottom
Yeah.
and tried to make it implode from ground up, and it didn't work. They shut it down, everything. So
Yeah.
it was going to happen. Like a lot of things, like even this current shutdown, I feel like everything was planned. But you know, that's just me and my soapbox, and just paying attention to history and see how certain things are created and manifested and are meant to repeat itself due to those sitting in certain positions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was refreshing to hear some of those things highlighted in that piece. What
I appreciate you.
with these two pieces and how poetry has helped you and healed you along your way, when it came to being in the military and writing pieces like that, what provoked it? Is it just the poet in you, or is it because of some shit that done pissed you off, or something you just witnessed, or is it a collection of all three?
Let me start by saying I'm belligerent. I am belligerently myself, and that doesn't always work for me, and it doesn't always work for the people that I'm around. But what it does do is it allows me the opportunity to be unapologetically myself and tell my truth. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care who I'm around. I don't care who I piss off. I'm going to tell my truth. Now I'll try to be more professional in certain settings, but where were you? You said you're 44.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you in 2007, 2008?
I was still in Jersey, about like making my decision to move. It was going to be PA first, then it was going to be Virginia, and then it ended up being North Carolina. Like nothing else worked, even though PA was like right next door, nothing worked. Then Virginia, everything was clicking except for one thing. And then when it came to North Carolina, it was like a straight open golden lane. So I ended up moving in December of 2009, right after that snowstorm. So in 2007, 2008, I was getting ready to move.
So in 2007, I was in Okinawa, and I was there when Obama got elected, sworn in, and when I went to the Corps, I was running for some things, but one of the things I faced the last night I was here in Oklahoma before I went to Arizona, where my brother was my recruiter. The last night I was here in Oklahoma, I got chased by some pilgrims in a white truck screaming that lovely word they love to say, you know. They were screaming that word and throwing rocks and popping shots and MAGA, all of that. MAGA. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I thought I escaped that. But when I was in the barracks and we were everybody's wearing their camis because we were just getting off work, or we worked late that night. I think we just got back from a deployment. And everybody was in the barracks in the common area, and when they announced that he won, I heard somebody openly say, "I can't believe they elected that monkey." And we, the dark green Marines, that's Native, Mexican, Black, anybody that was not Pilgrim or opaque, um, they told us we couldn't do anything. We just had to eat it. That there was going to be a lot of things that happened, and there was going to be a lot of people flying flags and doing all kind of stuff. You know, that rebel flag came out hard as fuck, and um, yeah, we couldn't do anything for yet.
I had my RBG flag up. I had my Juneteenth flag up.
Yeah, we weren't allowed at the time.
But they could. But
They actually, when I was it was 2010, when I was in California, they made a Mar admin that anybody with a rebel flag caught on base, flying it on their trucks, cars, whatever, anybody with that was getting put out. But chains of command weren't enforcing it. Like, they brought it up and they said, if we see you with it, and it's the way they said it.
mm-hmm.
It's the way they said it. Sergeant Major Bell, she was all about it. She was all about, if let me catch you with it. Her husband's Black. She was like, let me catch you with it. If I catch you with it, I'm fucking you up on sight. But the other people was like, yeah, if we see you, and they turn their head, you know. So
Mhm. Yeah, one thing I would hope now it has changed, but from recent talks, I've heard that it hasn't, just like everything else. But from my uncles, from my great uncles, and it was World War II. He was in a draft. He was in line standing next to Jackie Robinson at one point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like from that era all the way up until where I got nephews, nieces, and younger cousins that are in service, all still have the same story that you just shared in some way. So it's like, is it ever going to change? And which, in my eyes, honestly, no, is because this world that was established, that was already lived upon, was built on racism. It was built on terror and violence. That was it. And it's always, no matter how much, I don't mean to sound pessimistic, I don't mean to sound negative, but we're not going to live to see it. We're not going to live to see when the world finally changes and it starts to be more loving and stuff. We're not going to see it. It will
yeah,
happen.
we'll never,
We're
we
not
won't.
going to.
What
So,
scares me more about that is knowing that the impacts of the decisions that we made are going to affect our children, our children's children, and the impact that's going on right now. I'm gonna use, if you don't mind me bringing up Charlie Kirk. I'm gonna bring that up for a second. Someone walked up to me and said, he's the modern day Martin Luther King, and I about lost everything in me. I said, before I lose my shit, let me ask, how do you find the comparison? I really wanted to know at what point in time this person lost all sense of who they were. Mind you, this was a Black dude I was talking to. So it really pissed me off. I said, Martin Luther King was firebombed because he was Black. They sick dogs on him because he wanted to just go have lunch. This dude sat at a college and talked to kids he knowingly could beat. And when he did get beat, none of that shit ever got aired. I never seen one of his losses. And I used to love watching his debates because he was smart. And I loved watching, I'm a debater. I love watching debates. But I also want to see the debates where he loses, because he's not the smartest man in the room at all times.
Yeah, you got
So when
other videos, the other view, because I noticed, I used to see, oh no, he's only winning. So I started searching and looking more, and then I seen how people would be like, nah, this is the whole debate, not this cut up, edited version.
Yeah. And when I got to sit and watch the whole thing and watch him get dogged, They never put that shit out. Never put that out.
To make it so sad, it's like I don't wish ill on nobody, but can we
Our
say that?
kids.
No. Can we say that about the government though? Because
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like he was sacrificed by them. Another distraction. Those videos, no one has came out to say that those videos with those two men standing next to him were AI. And anybody with a clear mind and
What
eye,
video standing next to him?
video when he got shot, the two men standing directly right there on the stage, there was little hand movements and gestures. And then next
that, yeah.
boom. Like, you can clearly see that, but not one person out of all of those things that surfaced, all the different angles from that day, no one said it was AI. Not
those movements that they were doing. If you've ever read anything about Sniper, those are windage calls.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know that.
Now the shooter from the range that he was shooting at, there's no windage call. There's no windage. There's no way he shouldn't have. He was at 150 yards, give or take. He was at 150 yards. I, as a Marine, at our shortest yardage was 200. Slow fire, rapid fire, hitting all target, hitting right in the center. Bap, 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 bap. Not saying I was the perfect shooter because I wasn't. I was a sharpshooter. We have marksman, sharpshooter, expert. I was a sharpshooter.
I already know. Sharpshooter, I already know. Let me stop.
Yeah. For those who don't, I was in the middle. So, but I do know that from the shot that he took, or whoever it was, there's no reason he shouldn't have hit him square in the face because there was no windage. There's not enough wind to knock the round off by even half a centimeter. Maybe and that was a half centimeter shot.
He changed his mind at the last minute. Maybe he flinched. Maybe it was done on purpose to draw attention. Who knows? But you ain't gonna tell us that was a Democrat shooting at him. You're not gonna tell us that it was an old man looking like he done retired 2 times over that shot him. You're not gonna serve us that. Like, we're done with being told this is what this is what we want you to believe it is. When we have our own eyes and sound minds and can put 2 and 2 together. That thing I like about information age is that no matter how you try to spin it, somebody is always recording.
Yeah. Okay. There were multiple people with cell phones, yet there was only one camera angle. Why?
Because that's what they wanted you to see.
Anyway.
We could go all day about that.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, while you were in service, did any of them know that you were a poet?
I used to so again, this is another shout out to my brother. Shout out to my brother Ronnie, and my mom, and my cousin Lansing is in the army. They're all the family poets. And so I sat there and was at a base called Kinzer. I went over there to Kinzer, and they had an open mic. And I was nervous, scared. I called my brother home. He was in Arizona. I called him. I said, "Hey man, when you get on stage, what's it like?" He said, "There's gonna be a big bright light. And as soon as you get on stage," he said, "when you get on stage, it's gonna be a big bright light. You won't see anybody out there in the crowd. All you're looking for is feet. Look for the feet in front of you, and that's who you talk to." The Marines in my shop, they knew I wrote poetry because that's all I would do. Like, I was venting, so I would crank out 20, 30 poems a day. But they weren't my best work. It was just
poetry for MREs.
Oh man.
Oh, for y'all that don't know who Pentelectual Conversations are, that's none other than the brother of Paul Cram, with his sick pen self as well. Shouts out to that brother too. Thank you for your service as well.
Shout out to the Honey Dripper Poetry Collective. Shout out to Poetic City. Shout out to the Muskogee Soul Searchers, the Inner City Poets, all my poetic family. Yeah, buddy. This shit was not easily obtained. This was not easily obtained at all. I had to earn this.
Yeah, I know they waiting for me. I gotta clear some of this stuff out of the way so I could totally focus. I don't like doing nothing half-assed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we it was not, like I said, it was not easily obtained.
Oh, I know it's not. That's boot camp for real.
I got a chance. I got a chance to write with somebody when I was in class. I got a chance to write with somebody that I had been wanting to write with for a long time, and we wrote together once before, but it was like she wrote a poem and then I replied, and then she wrote a poem and then I replied. It wasn't intentionally writing together. I was just moved by her poem.
Mm-hmm.
But me and Alley Poetry, rest in pen, rest in power. Me and Alley Poetry got to do a poem together
And do you
for
know on Veterans Day, that was our friendship anniversary on Facebook. Me and
no
Alex.
name.
Yes. I
The
said,
the poem,
eyes, a veteran poet.
the assignment was given to us by Big Brother Drip of all trades, aka Paul Cram the poet, aka my brother. I got it. The poem was given to us by him, so it was serendipitous that the last time I got to write with her was for him.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. She is indeed. So, what
Shout
happened when you finally spit? Was any of the
out.
folks, any of your people that already knew that you were a poet, were they there that night as
No,
well?
man.
So
I didn't tell
everybody
anybody I
was
was
just,
going.
you
I
ain't no
didn't tell
random folks.
I didn't tell anybody I was going. I didn't know anybody there. I took the bus, what we call the green line. I took the green line there, and then I had to take a cab back. They called them honchos. I took the green line there. Nobody knew I was leaving. They just knew I signed out of the barracks, and I signed to go to another base. That's all they knew. They didn't know what I was going to do. And then somebody somewhere, what's it called? Um oh my God, not Marine Online, but it was the newspaper, the local newspaper, um, for the Okinawa Marines. That's what it called, the Okimar. The Okimar put out a picture of me, front page, and I got called into the office by my gunny and my staff sergeant. It was like, when the fuck did you do this? And I was like, the other day. It was like, when the fuck why didn't you tell us you was performing? I was like, because I didn't know I was going to. I just did it.
Wow. Front page on that ass. So
Yeah, that
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 means you
fucked me
shut it
up.
down then.
That fucked me up. And in my earlier days of performing, you could tell who I was listening to musically. And we was talking about him earlier. I was listening to Tech Nine real heavy, and I still do, but I listen to a whole bunch of other stuff too. But at that point in time in my life, I was really stuck on Psychology 101 and Absolute Power, and I was listening to all of these different albums, mostly by Tech Nine or Twista or anybody that could spit fast and double time. So when I would get on stage, my delivery was that. Add that to the fact that I had been binge watching since I was 16, deaf poetry. So
Uh,
it was a mix. I didn't find my own voice till after I got out the Marine Corps. And I got in Poetic City, and um, they were telling me things like, slow down, listen to yourself. And I'm like, I don't want to hear me talk. I hate my own voice. But I had to go back and listen and find out what they were talking about. And yeah, Mac Woods, shout out to Mac Woods, Tavy, Bleak Blakely, Sharita, freaking Sam Coop, freaking the whole Poetic City family, are the Overcomer. Um, yeah.
that's
And
what's up.
then the Honey Dripper Poetry Collective took what Poetic City taught me, gave me some extra tools to work with, and now
You're a
man,
beast.
I'm still not a total package. I'm just
He's a
learning.
beast. When I tell you this brother is so humble, but he is a beast. Because like I said, Dad, I had just got on the clubhouse. I was in a few rooms. I didn't even spit a few pieces. He done commented on a few, and I was just like, oh shit, he listening to me type thing, like I'm like I do this, but coming into Clubhouse where people was doing this since the pandemic, you know what I'm saying? I was fresh in the rooms, like even in I think it's spoken soul sessions, like when you was talking about how they could tell like your poetry, you could tell who you listen to. You know what I was said? They said like, "Where you from?" That's the first thing they said. And when I was like Jersey, he said, "Okay." He said, "How old are you?" And I told him how old I was. He said, "You listen to Rakim?" And I said, "Of course, who don't?" I said, "But yes, that's my era. Africa Bambaataa, KRS-One. That's me. That's what. Yeah, I was listening to all of that. So, it's dope that you mentioned that. So was you on high demand on the barracks after that?
I got paid a couple times to write for a few people. I wrote some get together pieces.
Poetry home to their wives and stuff.
Yeah, I wrote some stuff to people. I wrote some baby I miss you, and then I wrote some Dear John letters too. So
Oh shoot. Yep, the Misfits.
I wasn't in demand, but I wasn't lacking either.
The God MC, you already know. Oh, you challenged Asean to a poet versus poet?
I was gonna bring that up. Actually on Tuesday.
Oh, I need to hear about this. When is this happening? Oh, what?
It's the first Tuesday. If I'm not mistaken, it's the first Tuesday in December. I think it's the 7th on Pentelectual Conversations. So what happened?
The 12-2 that you was talking about in the comments, Paul Crown? Because I saw he put December 2nd.
Could be the 2nd. It's on a flyer. I got a flyer posted. I got a couple flyers posted. I'm about to post a whole lot more flyers because this is gonna be fun. This is about to be fun because he's my Asean's one of my instructors, and he said, so if you beat me,
not the 7th, it's the 2nd.
He said, if you beat me, I won because I'm the instructor. If you lose, I won. And I just whooped your ass. I said, that's not how this works.
Yeah, he's still a winner. He's still a winner either way. That's the part about it that sucks though, because he poured into you. But you leveling up though, that elevate. That is so dope. That is dope. Oh yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for that one. Yeah,
he's a slam chunk.
Call me, text me, remind me, make sure even if I'm at work, I'm gonna just have my phone pulled up and I'll watch it while I'm still processing them applications. Okay.
he's a national slam champ if I'm not mistaken, or he's a placeholder. But the boy's bad, and
yes, he is. I
wanted all the smoke. I wanted it.
That's what's up. I like that. Yeah, that's a dope challenge. So, what's this other piece that you got for us?
I'm gonna just jump into it.
Any direction that you want.
I'm gonna just jump into it. Ready?
Mm-hmm. I'm muting my mic now.
Tell me, when was the last time we spoke? It's been too long, in my opinion. Out of all the friends that I've had and lost over the years, you were one that stood by me no matter what I was going through. But you're someone I failed to mention. Crazy enough, I've known you longer than I've known all my friends except for one. He got you beat by 3 years, but even so, you and I are closer than anybody. You were there when I jumped off the porch for the first time. I remember joking with you about how one day we would escape Muskogee and never look back. We go to the Marines together, then either Afghanistan or Iraq, and that's before we knew the truth about the government pulling off those attacks. That's neither here nor there. More than anybody else, though, you've always been here for me. From the good times of graduating early to listening to my brokenhearted poetry in the early days when I rhymed every line every time, feeling like doing shit like this was the epitome of sublime. Wait, you were there for me when I cut my wrist in Black History class. There for me when I got sick and the doctors didn't know what was wrong with me, so they gave up figuring he's either gonna die or he's gonna fight it. You're always there for me to lean on, conspire and drink with till we're pink in the face and the grass is filled with vomit. When I was 16, stumbling home from club reflections, worried why no woman wanted me, and you never let me live in the rejections. You held me up when the world pressed me down, and instead of scolding me, you you showed me the lesson. You said, "Stop stressing. You're gonna make it. You'll earn a title. It's why you know we were created. If no one else will sign up for the buddy program, I'll do it. I'll make sure you keep a level head. And when you're tired, I'll remind you that you got this. You're worth it. Just a little while longer. It's your purpose. We'll show the world we're perfectly imperfect, but more importantly, we'll show ourselves we can do it. We'll just call this our first act of self-service." 30 March 2007 came and went the same as April, all the way to 10 August, and we're now in Okinawa, Japan. That's when you really started to show me who you were, and you've shown up in more ways than once since then. You saw me married and divorced twice, all by 36. Was there when my kids came into this world. Was there when I almost put a round in my dome. You were the one that said, "Hold on, just a little while longer. You're almost home." You've seen me at my worst. We've yet to see me at my best. Folks ask sometimes, "What's your best poem you've ever written?" And I can't answer that question because we haven't written it yet. This piece is to the one that's seen it all from the creation, first landing and dark side of the moon, but together we'll touch Cybertron and we won't stop until we do. To the one that's never given up on me, even when I thought I should, I want to say thanks. This is Ink Pen talking to my ink pen, saying life's a blank canvas until it ain't. Sincerely, Soul's Ink Pen. Drip known as Article 69. Poem.
That was dope. That was fire.
Thank you so much.
That one was right there. So when did you pin that one?
When I was in class, a couple months ago.
Okay. So what was the topic like that made you?
I was in a really dark space, and I needed to talk to myself.
Okay.
I needed to talk to myself a little bit. I needed to find my way through. So I had to learn to talk to the poet that was always there for me. I had to figuratively look in a mirror and talk to the poet, not Brandon. Brandon needed to talk to Soul's Ink Pen and say thank you.
That's my sis right there. I'm just the messenger 9. Deep therapy, indeed. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Because your eyes are the windows to the soul. So when you take the time to practice in the mirror, to talking to yourself, whether it's positive affirmations or just like you said, you needed to speak to yourself like you are seeking more into you. And anyone that takes the time, everybody just says do the work, do the work, do the work. But yeah. Some of us, we have to break down what the work is.
Yep. Everybody,
that the work is so hard, and literally just by looking at yourself in the mirror and talking to self, that right there is just a little bit that you need to start you on your healing journey. It's not always going to come from the outside. Your greatest antidote in life is your mental. That's your greatest antidote. So it's all basically, it's all in your mind. Get your mind right. Like, not to make anyone's feelings feel any less, but who can conquer your emotions but yourself? People can give you the tools, but you gotta do the work.
If you're not willing to dig in the dirt to uncover what's wrong with you in your own dirt, metaphorically speaking, of course, then what's the tools for? You're just staring at the ground, watching whatever potential you have be covered up. And
Then it will manifest on the outside. Indeed, indeed. And TB, writing saves our lives. It really, really does. And my sis said, be proud of yourself, brother.
hey, thank you so much, sweetheart.
Yeah, we got to get her back on here too. I believe she was my third guest when I first started 3 years ago. That number 3, stay following me, sis. So, she got to get back on here. I ain't playing with her. But indeed, Paul Cram said, great priest, T military man. All right, thanks. Look, witnessed it, right? She said, I got it. And you know what? My bad, people. I was supposed to say this earlier. You see this QR code sitting up here? Okay, so I don't know. This is my first time doing this, but you have the ability, if you hit the QR code, you can choose how to watch all of our podcasts on this platform now. So you can choose to watch horizontally, or you can choose vertical. But when I don't know how it looks now for you guys, but right now I see 2 of us on here. I got 2 of us vertically, and then I got 2 of us right in the middle horizontally. So now I'm about to hide that back. But yeah, that's how it goes. So from now on, you guys get to choose how you get to view us. And sister, that's nice. And Paul Cram and Souls, those are your brothers. Yes, yes, yes. And indeed, you can cast to your TV too. Yep, indeed.
I actually have something to add about the battle with ASEAN. I mean,
okay,
more of a I don't know.
Manila.
It's more of it's gonna be more of a dismantling, but that's neither here nor there. Love you, Panda, but I'm gonna mount your head on the wall, bro. So
this is the first time I'm hearing about this. Oh yeah, this is the Thriller in Manila. I can't stop saying it.
Check this out. Check this out.
It's all of it.
How the judging is gonna go is coming from the gallery. There's not gonna be any judges. The judges are all gonna be in the gallery. So if you like what I do, you put an ink pen in the comments. If you like what he does, you put a panda emoji in the comments. Okay. I mean, let me rephrase that. If you like what I do, put an ink pen. And if you like what I do, put an ink pen. I mean, I don't see too many pandas coming up. I mean, he nice, but yeah.
Well, I know one thing's for sure. I'm going to be torn. This is not going to be fair. So I'm going to just tell you right now, if you see an ink pen and a panda together, you know that's me.
Hey, like the old song say, you can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this.
Indeed. Yes. Like I said, I told you I was coming to look for you, and I am so glad that you said the 14th was for you, because it lined up perfectly. Like, you didn't even know what I was trying to do with this next set of series. So hopefully,
that's serendipity, man.
Yes, that's when I love how everything just falls right into place. And so Paul Cram, he's also one of the veteran guests on here. So, if you want to come back with some new stuff, I need y'all to corral all of our fellow poets who are veterans, whether they are retired, even still active duty. Let's get them on here. I want to give them space as well to be able to share their truths, whether they write about their time or not. But I just want to make sure that they get on here as well as you guys. Yeah, that's the song, sis. Paul Graham, see, that's why I love bruh. He said he always down. So corral
Arrows. Gotta get Arrows and Marielle and Mac Woods and
already reached out to Malikia and Scott and
Shanta.
Logan. Like they know. So I told them, I said, for the next series, y'all let me know when y'all free so that y'all can come in. So right now, the other Fridays are still open. He also mentioned Mac Woods. Who's that?
Oh my God, the Mac Woods. He's a Renaissance man, to say the least.
Okay.
You'll never catch him outside of a suit
Okay.
unless you catch him in the gym. And when I say the brother got his presence, got presence, like
I know what you're talking about. I got
that
uncles
dude.
like that. I
He's
got
that dude.
uncles like that. So
That's
I
that's
know what you mean.
that's one of my mentors. Like,
Hey, dope. Well, look, link us up. We need to get him on here. So yeah, we need to do this thing because I really want to do this. The salute to the troops. Do my part in my way. You know what I'm saying? So Paul Cram said he is a living legend. I bet. I can't wait to get him on the show as well. You have been doing shout outs throughout the whole interview, but is there anyone that you might have missed? And let folks the drill, let them know how to find you, where you be at, how to contact you.
you can find me. You can find me on. I hear that Nelly song in my head. But no, you can find me on Facebook under Souls Inkpen. That's SoulSinkpen. On Instagram at Souls Inkpen 83. On TikTok, I believe it's the same. I could be wrong. I don't remember the TikTok one. But or you can find me at your at the on stage. You can find me on stage somewhere.
Yeah, this brother be doing it. He be doing it for real. So I thank you for coming on to the show. As I tell everyone else, you have an open invitation whenever you got stuff going on. Like you just plugged the Royal and the Jump and what is it? The Royal Rumble, all of it. I can't wait for this. Like, I wish this was happening like today.
I'm gonna be on Pentelectual next Tuesday. And this Tuesday coming up, and I have I'm gonna be doing 6 pieces. That's gonna be a real dope interview. Real
Okay.
dope interview.
Y'all definitely, y'all need to be following Intellectual Conversations anyway on YouTube. So I don't know what you're doing. I've been plugging y'all. I've been telling y'all this is the same brother who had Louisiana Lyricist Lounge here on Blast. So this is still family regardless. So y'all need to run on over there, hit the like and subscribe for him as well. And this is Friday. You be cooling how you be cooling. Be safe out there, just like how my brother alluded to. The climate right now is a little different. It's getting more different. Those of us in the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina area, we just got notified that the Border Patrol is coming here.
Oh, they've been here.
No, look, ICE has been here from the beginning, but now the Border Patrol is coming.
Oh, yeah. The green trucks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we just was given documents on how we need to proceed when we intercept them when they come into our workplace. So yeah, when I tell you this is different. So y'all keep y'all minds right. This is not the time to be hating on each other. Like I said, in life, it's about accountability. That means being accountable for self. And in duality, knowing that I can't exist without you and you can't exist without me. Just like my beat used to say, when I shine, you shine, we shine together. Like I live by that. Do you understand me? So yeah. Just be safe in everything that you do. Be a little nicer, a little kinder to folks. Let's not just do this because it's the holiday season. Because if you could fix your mind to be nice because it's supposed to be Thanksgiving and because it's supposed to be Christmas, that means you could do it 365 days, 366 in the leap year. So let's stop letting the powers that be control us on how we should interact with each other emotionally. Okay.
Your humanity should not be hinged on who's flying that fucking bird.
There it is. I just love this. Yeah, I love it.
I did have one more shout out, if you don't mind. I am. Although I didn't do any erotic poems tonight, all of my erotica is streaming on SoundCloud, freaking Spotify, Apple, iTunes. I thought YouTube, freaking everything. It's everywhere. You just type in Souls Ink Pen and prepare to make a baby.
Yeah. Mhm. And I hope you're married, because if not, it's going to be a lot of child support cases.
I'm telling you, I got some. My kids asked me, Papa, can we listen to your stuff? I said, no, you'll find out where you came from.
Uh, uh, uh. And Paul Cram agreed. He said, yes, y'all do. Need to follow him. And then he said it's 420 time again. Okay. Well, again, thank y'all for tuning in. We will be celebrating our veterans, our troops, and those who are retired or active duty. Bring them all this way. Let's get them on here. Let's give these servicemen and women an opportunity to express themselves in any way that they see fit. Be safe out there. And if you don't know nothing else, know that it is peace and poetry, folks.
Indeed.